Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Violent Hippie Podcast. So today's episode of the Violent Hippie Podcast, I have my good friend Jeff Gum, my brother, former Navy SEAL, current entrepreneur and owner of Sunga Life and all things Sunga. If you're
all things Sunga.
Yeah,
right here.
Sunga. If you're going to peacock, do it like a patriot.
Straight.
And so for those of you guys who don't know, most of I would say most of my supporters know who you are by now. Mm-hmm. So Jeff Gum, like I said, is a former Navy SEAL veteran of 10 years and current entrepreneur, owner of Sunga Life, and also has a master's degree in business. So he's not just all looks, he's brains too. And all around one of the best guys I know, best friends, I've had in many years, and super grateful for him and his support and everything like that. So I'm excited to hear, have everybody hear your story and learn more about you. And I'm sure after this episode, everybody's like, man, I'm gonna have to get me a Sunga. Yes. So, and you should. So
all
anyway,
about freedom.
Let's get into it. We'll tell your story, kind of where our paths crossed, and and then the journeys we've been on, etc. Should be a fun episode. So I'm excited.
Me too, man. So thankful to be here, and it's amazing to see like how quickly and massively that you've grown. And
I see what you did there.
And I love, it's really got me my abs back as well. Using the greens to get shredded, and got a lot more people into the Sunga Life because they take the greens and then they get shredded to get in their best, start living their best life. Mm-hmm. And it goes right into the Sunga Life, and just like very, very complementary to each other.
Yeah, I love that our businesses are complementary to each other. It's definitely a plus.
And I've always appreciated your support so much from the beginning. I remember right after we kind of reconnected, and you were getting ready to do one of your MMA fights, and you're just like, I got a surprise for you. And you had literally sewn like a cup holder into the loudmouth Patriot Sunga, and you went out there and fought for your title wearing the Sunga and everything. And it was absolutely epic. And you like had a come from behind like victory, like smashed the guy and everything. And then the next one you came out and did the whole dance and like lit the guy up in 10 seconds and made for some like unreal highlights and
good content.
Yes, great content. And it's been, and I love how much we can support each other through this and be a part of so many epic charity events together and everything, whether it's swimming the Hudson River or walking 240 miles across Greece, or whatever comes our way.
Yeah,
we're not afraid.
It's been super cool, because we're very like-minded in our outgoingness, and we both find enjoyment in giving back while having fun, and it's like we always find ourselves in these cool events and things like that where we find enjoyment in them. It might not sound all that fun. I remember you weren't so excited with me with the 240 mile,
especially that first couple days. First couple days were miserable. Other people trained like a year doing this thing, like doing ultra marathons along the way, like prepping for it. And we're like, oh, we got 10 days notice. Let's just do it, whatever.
Yeah.
And
so for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we the first kind of adventure that we reconnected with and kind of became really close on was the Greece walk. We retraced the steps of the Spartans, 240 miles on foot in 8 days. We went from Sparta, Greece, to the battlefield of Thermopylae, where the last epic, famous battle took place, and the last stand, and
King Leonidas.
Yep,
and 300 Spartans.
That was one of the hardest things, if not the hardest thing I've ever done. And it was because we did it on 10 days notice and zero training for it. And we just we're like, fuck it, let's do it.
And it wasn't just 240 miles, but it was 29,000 feet of elevation change. So I had no idea how mountainous Greece was, going up and down these mountains. And the only thing worse than going up a mountain is going down a mountain.
Especially once your knees and feet are all fucked up and blistered and swollen.
But the crazy thing was, me and you were like dying the first few days, but we like toughed through it. And we went from being like, you know, everyone else was kind of conditioned, but then they started falling apart by like day 4 and 5. And that was like our warm up. All of a sudden we started getting better, and you were just straight off sprinting by the end. You were like, screw it.
No, well, I was just waiting to die, really. I was just like, I'm just going to run as fast and as hard as I can until I die, because I'm going to die soon. So hopefully let's just get this over with. And once they find my corpse, they'll be like, well, at least he wasn't a pussy, But I remember, and like, you fell over in a ditch.
Oh, the first day, we're like, I'd gotten to like mile 22 or something, and I'm like, damn, I got another 10 miles. Now my legs, both my quads and my hamstrings are just cramping like crazy. And thing that like a football player go cramp and get carried off the field, and it keep tempting me. The like support vehicles would come by and be like, do you want to ride? Do you want to ride? And I'm like, get away from me. Don't ask me that again. And I'm like, just like limping and hobbling and dragging my legs. I'm like, damn it. And then I'm like, all right, I got to take a piss. And you like walk through all this uneven kind of dirt over to the side. And then like my hamstring cramps so bad, I like fall over. Like I'm laying in the ditch there. And I like I went into the ditch to go piss. And I really had to piss. And I'm just like laying there, like pissing off to the side. And I'm just like, what the hell is happening right now?
You're like, and then Mitch is not picking any more of our vacations.
I was like, next one I'm picking is a yacht in Greece. And then keep going a little bit, and I'm like, how much further is it? And they're like, 5 miles.
They kept doing that. They kept saying
for the last like 10 miles.
It's just like 3 more miles.
Yeah.
It's just like 3 more miles. And you're like, I've walked 15 miles since you said 3 miles.
And then they were saying 3 miles. And then like after like walking 5 more miles, I'm like, how much further now? I'm like, it's got to almost be there. And they're like, it's 5 miles. And I'm like, get away from me.
Dude, that I don't know what was worse, the first day or the second day.
First day was 100 times worse for me.
Yeah, you recovered pretty fast. Like, you recovered for sure faster than I did. I didn't like find, Jesus until the 4th day.
You like straight up hit your groove then, though.
Yeah, no. After the 4th day, it was good. But
I remember like day 6, I was like jogging with Iron Cowboy, like for like,
and then it was like fun.
5 miles. Yeah, it was way more fun when you're not like suffering. I'm like, damn, I guess from like, and other people straight up had their like feet fell apart, and they were like getting infected, and they got like stress fractures and all kinds of like ridiculous problems. Yeah. And we were like, literally, we got there, and most people were so dead. They were like, I'm not even going into the hot gates. I'm not going into the and me and you like picked up Kyle and carried him like probably 500 meters to the hot baths and everything.
Yeah. And then we were laughing because when we first heard about this Grease walk, like I was like, we should carry Kyle.
Oh my God. Yes.
Kyle Maynard, who weighs, he's a quadriplegic, one of our friends, and he's a born quadriplegic. So he's got like, his arms are about to like where your elbows would be, and his legs are very short, so they're like about not quite my whole thigh, but you know what I mean, probably like half or something. Yep. And
but he weighs like a buck, especially then he weighed about $180 back then. He was like a meatball.
I would say he weighed close to, no bullshit, 160.
Yeah.
maybe 170. I don't know. He was a big guy for having no limbs, or very small limbs. And, when I first heard about this event, I was like, it's only walking, it's just walking. I walk every day. So like, we need to make it harder. Let's carry Kyle. And at first we were both like, yeah, we could do that. We'll just take turns. Like, I'll carry him a mile, you carry him a mile. I'll carry him a mile, you carry him a mile. And Kyle was like, okay. But then he was like, fuck
Nobody's
that.
carrying me.
I don't want to be carried that long. Like, that sounds awful. So he, thank God, was like, no, I think I'm going to look into getting a hand bike, that he can pedal with his arms. And thank God he did, because we would still be there.
And there was 2 options for the bike, and one had like an electric assist, and one was just pure, like no assist, no electric like battery on it. And I'm like, I don't know. I hear there's some mountains, and I think this like $4,000 extra you might have to pay for the battery. I think by the time you're doing it and trying to go up this mountain, you might think I'd pay $30,000 for that.
Yeah.
For that extra assist. And he while he was doing, he's like, good thing I got this extra assist, because imagine
some of
trying
those,
to he's hand pedaling this, but normally you do it like this and it's way easier. And he's literally took some of my socks and duct taped them on the handles, and he's just using his whole body to go and do this, and he doesn't get quite the leverage. So made it it just gave him an extra 20% or something, but it made the difference for him to be able to go up and over the mountains.
But so going back like to day one, where both of us were just by far the weakest links, and like just we were so miserable. And I mean, I felt like I got hit by a goddamn bus after day one. And and I just laughed at the thought of us like trying to carry Kyle there. It would have taken us like 2 months probably, or more, like legitimately. And
we would have thrown Kyle into a ditch.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, Kyle.
But anyway, that was a very epic and super awesome bonding experience and all that. One of the most important 8 days of my life for sure. I'll never forget it. And it absolutely sucked during, but it was kind of like buds, it's like the most fun you never want to have.
And we were just cracking jokes the whole time, hysterical.
Oh, we were like dying on the bus rides
every
home.
time.
Remember, I did a freestyle and was like rapping and like made this like freestyle of our journey that day or so far. And I wish someone we didn't even record it, and I was like, damn it, there were so many funny times. And Palmer was there. He was supposed to be fucking documenting the whole thing, but he wanted to do the event also. And which I don't blame him for that, but it's like, if you're the fucking camera guy, you got to be behind the camera and capturing the whole event.
Totally.
So it's such a bummer that we didn't have a good dedicated camera guy to capture all of the shit from that event, because it was so fucking epic. It was the first time that a group of people had retraced the steps of the Spartans and done that. And the mayor of Thermopylae was at the finish line, and a bunch of people from the town, and it was on the news. It was a big deal.
Yep. Even in Sparta as well.
In
huge
Sparta,
ceremony to kick it off.
And super cool. It was just such a seriously awesome journey, and great, cool ass people.
So many historic things along the way too. Yeah, there was all these old statues of the Greek gods, and even memorials where Nazis had killed entire towns of the men and everything, and it honored the Greek soldiers that had kind of stood up against them. And so it was just many levels, whether it was Persian invaders or Nazi invaders, and kind of honoring the resilience of the Greeks through all that. Yeah,
super cool. But that was our first kind of journey together. Obviously we were in buds, same time and all that, but that was kind of the first thing that we did together that where our friendship kind of blossomed, I would say, and then really took off from there. And ever since, I mean, haven't looked back.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I want to let you tell your story though a little bit, on your own story, and let my supporters get to know Jeff Gum a little more. And so let's hear it.
Awesome. Yeah. So I grew up in Pennsylvania. Lehigh Valley, kind of Poconos area, is a high school called Penargil. I played soccer, basketball, track, cross country.
How old are you? So we get a reference here.
How old? through.
No, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 37.
37.
Yeah. So graduated in 2002. So yeah, when I was going through buds at 23, you were, I think, 18 right out of high school and stuff. But yeah, so I was, graduate high school in 2002, played every sport I could pretty much, was on powerlifting team, did Australian football, had, amazing family, really, really good support from them growing up and everything. Had something really traumatic when I was 8 years old. My father was killed in a car accident, and I was 8 when that happened. I had a sister, she was 5, and I had a little brother who was 2. So I think that kind of put me in a thing where I felt like I was like the man of the house then at that age, and always wanted to kind of protect my family. You see all kinds of movies and things growing up where they have people being terrorized by people, and I always want to try to make sure that my family would always be safe. And I tore my ACL when I was 16 years old, and I was just like stuck in a brace and realized I needed like the biggest challenge in order to be fulfilled. And I was like, what's the biggest challenge? I was like trying to find out, and I was like, oh, being a Navy SEAL. And I was like, I want to do Hell Week. I want to like challenge myself, because there wasn't really, war or anything going on. I didn't necessarily even think, oh, I want to be a SEAL to like go to war and stuff, but I just wanted the biggest challenge. And then about a year and a half later, also I want to, learn how to shoot guns and blow stuff up and fight, and all these reasons to be able to protect my friends and family, and even people that can't defend themselves, strangers. But then 9/11 happened, and it just like reaffirmed it 100 times. I was like, okay, now I want to be a Navy SEAL.
So were you in high school?
I was a senior in high school.
Okay, cool.
I was 17. This was September. I turned 18 in November. So I was like almost 18 right when 9/11 happened. I was sitting in like philosophy class, and it was like maybe first or second period, and boom, the Twin Towers get hit. And New York is just 90 minutes away from where I grew up. It's like very, very kind of the countryside, a lot of farmland. I grew up on a dairy farm, and but New York is just 90 minutes away. Philadelphia is like just under 90 minutes away. So you're pretty close to these big cities, but still it's like very, very country where I lived. But we'd go and do these field trips to these cities all the time. So I had a lot of ties to New York. We'd go to museums, we'd go to whatever. So it like really hit home. It was like I just been there probably, a month or two earlier. And so now I was like, now I want to be a SEAL to go make sure this never happens again, and like try to hunt these most evil people in the world. And I started looking at other kind of special operations as well. I was trying to, educate myself. I was talking to, like for recon Marines, I was talking to the Marines, I was talking to Army Special Forces and everything, and looking at the Naval Academy, because I was like, oh, I could be an officer. But then I found out about ROTC, and I was like, oh, I could go to a normal college as well, and then go into the like special operations. And I was like, oh, I think I would go to school in Florida. That seems awesome. And I had some family down there. I kind of wanted to get away out on my own a little bit from this small town. And I talked to my cousins after I got accepted to University of Florida and University of Miami. And they're like, check out UCF, University of Central Florida. We live in Orlando, and we went there. We loved the school, and it'd be good for you to be close to family and everything too. And I was like, all right. I applied, got in, visited them, had a great time, loved the campus. And then they only had ROTC at the time, and Army ROTC. So I was like, oh, I'll do the Rangers and everything. I did the Ranger Challenge program. I went to airborne school after my freshman year, and at airborne school, randomly, Bud's class 244 had just graduated and started at airborne school. And I just kind of really fit in with these guys. And they all had long hair and sideburns, and they didn't march, and they didn't say yes, sir, no, sir. And they kind of took me in as like one of their own almost. Even though I was an Army ROTC cadet, there was almost no reason for them to do that. But I just like really fit in with them, and they were more fit than all the other guys in the Army. And they're like, we live in San Diego. We're doing, some really hard training out here. You get to skydive, you get to scuba dive, you get to do all this awesome stuff. And I was like, you know what? Like, I really feel like I fit in better with this culture. And so after college, I enlisted in the Navy to go to the SEAL teams, and that's basically where we reconnected and connected first time and went through that.
Yeah, I remember when we went through Buds, you were, like you said, you were 23 at the time, and I was 18. So like, you know, it was kind of cliquish a little bit in Buds, and
in the beginning, there's like 250 people. I think my class started with like 253 for Indoc.
It was a lot, but especially like the age groups, you could tell kind of formed a little bit, just because, you know, when you're 23 years old, you're definitely at a different time in your life and a different maturity level and shit than 18.
And we were like going out too on the weekends. We had the weekends off. We'd go out and we'd go like Gaslamp. We'd go to Pacific Beach, and so kind of just hung out with a lot of, you know, other people that had been going out in college and everything already. And
yeah, and that was like when, you know, me and the young guys, we would go to my apartment, you know, because I was married at the time, so I had an apartment, and, you know, off base, and, you know, that was kind of like our little getaway on the weekends. We'd all go to my apartment and fucking, you know, we drink a little bit there or whatever, allegedly underage. And but you definitely don't want to get fucked up at Buds and have like hangovers and stuff, which I know some guys did for sure. Yeah. But we would just drink a little bit on the weekends just to kind of have fun and stuff. But
and you feel invincible then too, and you're like, you don't even.
I mean, I did. I was just like, I felt great all the time, you know. But yeah, so we didn't really like hang out, or weren't really like close or anything like that in Buds. And
then you went to the East Coast after, and I went to the West Coast, so we literally didn't even have any contact for.
You went to Team 7, right?
Team 5.
Team 5.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Team
and
5.
I was supposed to go to Team 5.
Oh, wow.
And I traded orders with someone, and
I was supposed to go to SDV 1. I orders to Team 5, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my orders switched to Hawaii. And I had a girlfriend at the time, like long distance, and she was like ready to come to California, and she had like a job lined up and everything. And I ended up going and like speaking to the detailer and being like, hey, you know, I got like, you know, if I go all the way to Hawaii, my family's in Pennsylvania, it's going to be so hard to get back. I have a girlfriend who's moving here that has a job. It's going to like really screw all my stuff up. And she ended up like switching me back to Team 5 and everything. So it kind of worked out there.
Yeah, I ended up getting orders at Team 5, and I told my family, and they were all kind of bummed, you know. And at the time, I was digging San Diego, you know, because you're out there for SQT and Buds and all that. And so I had been living there for a little while, and I wasn't mad about it, you know.
Yeah.
San Diego's pretty dope, and but my family was pretty bummed about it, and because they were all on the East Coast. Some of them were in Virginia Beach, some of them were in Maryland and, you know, Ohio, and Massachusetts. So it was like all on the East Coast, and you know, so I was like, they were all really bummed about it. So I was like, all right, I'll switch with someone, and ended up switching. I can't remember who I switched with, but yeah, and I ended up at Team 10 on the East Coast, which I was not mad about. You know, it all works out. It all worked out. You know, obviously the way it did, and
sure did.
You know, so I think it would have been a totally different experience though, because the East Coast teams and the West Coast teams have such a different culture.
Yeah,
and
it's like the East Coast has a rivalry with the West Coast, and the West Coast doesn't know there's a rivalry going on. Is the way I've seen it.
I think it's probably because the East Coast is like closer to Dam Neck, you know, and so it's like guys want to go over, and I think that there's kind of like a vibe in there in the East Coast, like it's like you should be wanting to go to Dam Neck or you shouldn't be happy, you know. And it's like if you're not there, you shouldn't be happy, and you know you should just be pissed off if you're not there. And you know, and the West Coast guys, they were like, and everything on the East Coast is so close net, you know, it's like Virginia Beach is jam packed, you know, and it's not that big of a place. Whereas like some of your guys, you know, on the West Coast, some of them live in Point Loma, some of them live in, you know, Imperial Beach, some of them live in Coronado, some of them live, you know,
between La Jolla and Imperial Beach and Coronado. It's like a trek. It's a big
and
city.
PB and
PB.
It's like, and there's so many more people too. Whereas like people are like, what's a seal? You know, there. But like here it's like saturated, you know. And like you go out to eat, you see fucking team guys. You go out to the mall, you see team guys. You go out to the bar, you see team guys.
I ran into a friend last night at the porch.
Yeah. I mean, they're everywhere.
Like, what's up, man?
They're everywhere, you know, and it's like we all stick out. Like you can see a seal. If you're a seal, you can see a seal a mile away, especially in Virginia Beach. It's like you have the uniform on, the unofficial uniforms, like the gator sunglasses, the, you know, the Solomon shoes or the fucking whatever.
Tattoos,
you know.
and a G-Shock.
Yeah, full sleeve tattoos, G-Shock, black truck, blonde girlfriend, you know, whatever. It's just like standard issue, you know. Sunga, yeah. But then on the West Coast, it's just a totally different vibe. But yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like the East Coast dudes, it's everybody wants to get over to Dam Neck, and everybody wants to, like, I don't know. We look at the East Coast or the West Coast dudes, and a lot of those guys are kind of just like, this is just a job, you know, and it's more of like a lifestyle. I feel like here on the East Coast and the West Coast, it's kind of like people have a life outside of the teams, and you know what I mean? Like there's a lot more going on.
And a lot of friends outside the team. Yeah. So I had friends who were like business guys, friends who were martial artists, like Gracie's, and lots of other friends up in Orange County and LA, and I'd go up there on a lot of the weekends, or I'd go to Vegas, and you just have it's a lot more diverse kind of friend group.
Mm-hmm. And you know, we would always be like, man, fuck those Hollywood surf teams out there, you know, and you guys are just like, what? What are you guys pissed about? Oh, you live in Virginia Beach? That sucks. You know? I was like, we're going to go surfing. We live in San Diego, and it's perfect weather every day. And we're just all pissed off over here in Virginia Beach.
That was the thing. No matter where I was on a trip, I was always happy going back to San Diego and Pacific Beach. Like no matter where I was.
Well, here
no matter
it's
how good of a time it was.
And like here it's opposite. And like that was the other thing. It's like on the West Coast, you got, you know, La Posta, fucking was it San Clemente, fucking Nyland, you
like
know,
literally the Mojave Desert, like wasteland.
Just shit training places. I mean, like good actually, like kind of like terrain and shit for training, but
brutal,
just
like
not fun. You know, there's no fun, and like so when you're training,
still
it's
got
like
scars all over my body from like all the training.
Like all the training trips on the West Coast are fucking not fun, and they're like whatever. But then when you're at home, you're in San Diego and it's awesome. But then on the East Coast, it's the opposite. Like when you're at home, it's Virginia Beach and it's not that much going on. But then you get to go to all these cool training, you know, spots and stuff, and like your trips are more fun. So it's kind of like pick your poison, whatever you want. But
yeah, one of my favorite parts of training too was I'd, you know, come back from deployment and you do pro dev, and I had so it's like rejoining and be a reunion of all the guys I was in buds with. They were all at Team 4. I was at Team 5 on like the same cycle. So we'd have sniper school together, breacher school together, Hearst Castmaster together. And it was just awesome. And it was like a reunion going on.
Yeah.
And
it was definitely cool to when you come across your West Coast counterparts or East Coast counterparts in your field, in your case. But it was definitely cool. And, like long, you know, fast forward years, and we both found ourselves at the tail end of our careers as combatives instructors, and you were the combatives instructor on the West Coast, and I was the combatives instructor on the East Coast. You know, and I had gone over to the West Coast to help out with the combatives there or something.
Yeah, and you kind of came as like a guest instructor, see everything we were doing, add, you know, whatever, you know, and then go back.
We went. I went over there and you know, and I had remembered you from buds, obviously, you know, but again, we weren't very close, so it was kind of just like, oh, hey, what's going on, you know, and we kind of you know, connected with the martial arts. You were into, you had just started, or I think you were doing jujitsu with the Gracies every once in a while, and doing Muay Thai and stuff like that. And I was fighting at the time, MMA and competing in jujitsu and stuff like that. So I was pretty heavy into it, and you know, and I liked the team guys that were in your cell, you know, because they were all into it too. So that was cool. And and then so we had kind of reconnected in that sense, and we're in communication with that. And then I remember you had told me about Kyle Maynard. You know, and you had just started. I think we'd started. Did you start Sunga Life or
I started it July 2016.
What was your first business? Was it Patriot Shades?
It was Sunga Life.
Sunga
Life first, and then maybe 7 or 8 months in, I made the sunglasses as well, or maybe not even. Maybe like 3 months in.
I'm sorry. When did you start Sunga Life?
July 2016 is when I launched my first products.
Okay, yeah. So you were doing that while you were active duty.
Yeah, for about a year.
Okay,
I had it. So I made the sungas and then started making headbands and sunglasses. Then maybe like January or February, had just like changed the sunglasses, made them like stars and stripes down the side, called them Patriot Shades. And then I think we did the trek, was that like May 2017, I believe? Yeah, March 2016, I think we went to New York, and that's where we kind of hung out at the Navy SEAL Foundation Gala, and Kyle went there with me too, and we all hung out and kind of went out with Mario as well. And then you mentioned the Sparta thing.
So we had gone to that gala for the Navy SEAL Foundation event, and
I think that's where you told me about the Sparta thing.
Yeah, because that's where I heard about it. And that was also the day that I met Kyle Maynard. And you had told me about him. You were like, yeah, he's a quadriplegic, and he's a wrestler. He's in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, and he's
fought MMA.
He did an MMA fight, and he's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Bear crawled Kilimanjaro.
And I was like, oh shit, I want to meet this guy for sure. And and I met Mario that day as well, which I had known Mario from Instagram, because I had started my Instagram, and I think at the time, it had, I don't know, 20 or 30,000 followers by that time. And and we met it there, and then it wasn't that much. It couldn't have been like what? It wasn't 10 days notice. It had to have been like what, 2-3 weeks or something, because it
probably 2 or 3 weeks, but maybe by the time we completely committed, it was like 10 days. Yeah. I think we had talked about it a little bit. Are we really doing this?
Yeah. I know we didn't train at all.
No.
But
I did like maybe one ruck with Lance, where walked around for like maybe 8 miles with a big ruck or something, and I'm like, okay, I'm good.
I didn't do that.
I did literally one.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I fasted. You remember?
You were gonna fast for the whole time. You're like, this is gonna be so easy. I'm just not gonna eat the whole week.
Yeah, I was like, this is gonna be too easy. I'm gonna fast
and carry
make
Kyle.
It harder. Yeah, I was way wrong. But I did fast. I was on day 3 when we started. And I went 18 miles, and I was just like, give me a fucking sandwich. I was like, there's no way I'm going 220 more miles.
Oh my God.
22 miles without food. I can't. And I was also pretty shredded, at the time. So it's like, not like I have fat reserves to run off of. I was just like, nope, this ain't going to happen. But anyway, so yeah, we'd met there, and we already kind of got into the grease walk a little bit, but there, that was when I really started. We all started. You had already had your Sunga Life stuff, and then I had just launched
the shirts.
Yeah, I had launched the shirts in March.
Oh yeah, I remember you gave me and Kyle some, and we were wearing it.
Yep, and in March of 2017 was when I started Massive.
Wow,
so
awesome.
It was right around, right around the same time, or I think you said when 2016?
July 2016. So just a little under a year ahead of you.
Pretty close, in the time frame, and I had started that, and the first shirts I had was the mindset is everything, and like our other motto is don't be a pussy.
Yep.
So in that fucking grease walk when I was just devastated, like just crushed physically. And I just honestly didn't know if I was going to be able to finish it, you know? And I was like, fuck, am I? Like, I don't know what to do, you know? And like, and I've just started a fucking brand, you know? And like, my brand is like, mindset is everything. Don't be a pussy. And I'm like failing this thing fucking completely. I was just like, dude, if I quit this, like I'm the fraud, you know, like my brand is going to be completely worthless. And, you know, why the fuck would anyone
you persevered
buy it,
to say the least?
Yeah, I got
You're
lucky.
straight up running the last 5 days.
Yeah,
like
I got lucky.
They were calling you Wreck-It Ralph because you couldn't like run normally, but you would just swing your entire body.
Like Vince McMahon.
Yeah. You would just swing everything to like keep whatever momentum you could have going. Well, everything was so swollen. Everything was swollen on you, but you're just like swinging your way like through.
I remember,
and you're just running.
I remember when they started calling me Wreck-It Ralph was because it was like there was like this side wind, or it was like a Solomon type trail down this mountain, and you remember they were telling us like don't go like through the tall grass because there's like a bunch of vipers. Remember that, the snakes and shit?
Totally.
And there was like this Solomon type trail going down this mountain, and it was like long fucking trails both ways, and there was like big stretches of grass in between them going straight down the mountain. And you
were the trailblazer,
and I was like, fuck that, I don't give a fuck. And I just ran straight down that motherfucker, and I swear to you, I fucking stepped on a viper. It was like this big ass fucking snake, and I was just like, fuck it, I don't care. What's the worst thing that happens? He bites me and I die.
Puts me out of my misery.
Yeah, he fucking just puts me out of my misery, and I don't have to go the rest of these 100 miles or whatever. Fucking please bite me. And but that was that was the start of that was where we first started getting content.
You reaffirmed that mindset is everything.
Yeah, for sure. And we got some good content and everything.
Yeah, we did some Instagram lives.
Yeah,
we watched
300.
We watched 300 the night before we kicked it off.
Yeah,
and it was funny. It was talking about the part where the weak and the misformed will be discarded. And there's like, you're like showing that, and then you show it over to Kyle, and he's like,
yeah, no, that was fun. But so after Greece, and then I started rocking your Sungas in the ring, fighting with those, and that now that's my go-to, my uniform that I always wear. I do prefer the silkies.
Yeah.
At the time when you first launched the Sunga Life, you didn't have any shorts. You just had these.
Just full Sunga, all the way Brazilian style. For people who don't know, the Sungas, they come from Brazil. It's kind of funny that some people ask me, "Oh, what's Sunga mean?" And I go, "Oh, it's Brazilian for freedom." But really, it's like Brazilian Portuguese for Speedo, but they just have a different cut. So it's kind of like a hybrid between shorts and a Speedo. And I was like wearing them all over the world. I went down there in like 2013 a bunch of times, but the time I really started wearing it was like 2013, started wearing them all over the world, and everybody loved them. They're like, where can I get these? Where can I get these? And I'm like, oh, pretty much only in Rio de Janeiro. And then I kind of realized I was going to be getting out of the Navy, and I did the Honor Foundation. It helps like SEALs and special operators transition to the private sector. And I was like, I'd always been drawn to entrepreneurship because my cousins, they own businesses and were pretty successful. And I was like, man, I need to launch something, but I didn't know what. And then I saw these Sungas. I'm like, oh, I'll launch that. I'll introduce it to the US, share this awesome life hack. And just launched this as my first product. Everyone was saying, oh, you're living a Sunga life, traveling all over the world in Sungas. I'm like, oh, that's a good name. And then started making, like after a couple of years, started making shorts and board shorts and bikinis and silkies, women's silkies, pocket silkies, and just kept growing and started making just products I want to wear pretty much. And luckily other people like to wear them too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the silkies, the silky shorts, especially with the pockets.
Yep,
those are dope. Definitely my favorite, and now that's what I fight in. I did get knocked out. I've lost 2 fights ever in my life, and and the one that I'm most famous for, I would say,
it was only the number one move on Sports Center.
Yeah, it was the number one fucking clip on top 10 on ESPN's top 10 countdown. It was number one, and it was me getting knocked out in a crazy 31-second back and forth, just wild fucking fight. And
but you got your revenge.
I did get my revenge, and now so that was good. But our rematch video on YouTube has like 10,000 views. Like the first one has like millions of views, and I'm just like, oh god damn it. And of course, any fucking troll who gets into it with me on Instagram, of course, the first thing they do is, I'm going to look this guy up. And, so they put in YouTube, Mitch Aguirre, and it's just like KO'd in 31 seconds or whatever. And it's just, and I'm wearing
an American flag.
I'm wearing your American
Patriot,
flag,
Sunga.
Sunga. But yeah, you
definitely did some KOing in that Sunga as well, though.
I did, but not nearly as viral.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but that fight,
and you were this close though to having him.
I was, but that fight in particular was done on a military base.
Yeah.
And in front of an army crowd and stuff like that. And I'm this Navy SEAL rocking an American flag Sunga
with a mohawk,
with a
crazy
mohawk
ass
and shit,
Viking beard,
and then just got knocked out in 31 seconds. But I mean, he hit me like in the first, when we came out.
Basically, when you went to touch gloves,
I
right?
didn't know if we were going to touch gloves or not. And, and he had super long arms. And honestly,
he was like 6'4", right?
Yeah, 6'3", I think. And he hit me like, honestly, before I could even tell, like I was just like on Queer Street, like as soon as the fight started, and I was just like, what?
You were literally like on twinkle toes, but you're like going.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is going on, and I'm kind of like seeing stars a little bit, and all of a sudden I got this big dude in front of me just like throwing punches at me, and I'm just trying to avoid it, like, what the fuck's going on? Shit, we started? Oh, fuck. And then like I kind of like gained my composure for a second.
And he swings and you slip it. You come back with like a 1-2.
I hit him with a 1-2 and dropped him. And I was like, oh,
but
shit.
You're still a little bit, probably a little off still.
For sure.
And you like kind of went to jump on his back and you kind of overshot it and fell.
Yep, I tripped
and then
over
you like
him.
tried to stand up really quick. And as you're standing up, he's just swinging from his hip.
We both throw it. We both throw at the same time. It's like in slow motion, And he just hits me right before I hit him.
Perfectly on the chin.
Yep. And put me out. And I was like, damn it. But what are you going to do? But I did get that fight back. I'm super happy about that. And pretty dominant in our rematch. I dominated him.
Definitely.
So that was good. But that clip, it definitely went viral and has been seen way more times than me getting the revenge. So it is what it is. Whatever. Yeah. But so I didn't make the Sunga look great in that performance. However, it was seen a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helped your sales. Great, and then, great commercial. There's no such thing as bad press, right?
No. And you look pretty good. Getting knocked out, but But and then you got your revenge. So it's not what matters is how you finish.
Yeah. Well, it's cool, man. Nick Diaz always rocks your Sungas as well.
Yep.
And it's crazy. Like, you're one of the most connected people like I've ever come across. And I'm just like, dude, this guy's network is insane. Like it never surprises me. I like look on Instagram or something and it's like, oh, there's Jeff training with Mario Lopez, or, it's like roommates with Nick Diaz now. And it's just like, you're just always find yourself, connected with these like real high profile people or whatever. And you're super likable, and super friendly. So, you just always get people rocking your stuff and everything. It's been super cool to see. And one of the things that, that I appreciate about you so much is you always, include me and the Smashing Greens and Massive supplements, and like you do that without me asking you to. You do that on your own accord. You take that initiative, and I've always appreciated that and thought it's been really cool of you. And I always tried to do the same, and it's very rare, I feel like, to have friends that are considerate. And, and I know that you know what it's like to run a business, to create a brand, and you know how much work and effort goes into that, and how helpful it is just having people support it by shouting it out, by talking good about it, by wearing it, by just
effort,
but it's not that much effort.
Yeah.
It's just like, making the conscious choice to do it. Like, and I'm the same way. And, it's like when I'll go to put on a pair of shorts and I'm like, if I know I'm going to go hit the bag or train or something, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, I should wear a pair of Sungas, and not that they're not comfortable, because they are my favorite training shorts and they're super comfortable. And I really like them. They're high quality. But like, just if I happen to, I won't be thinking about it, put on some other shorts, and I'm like, oh wait a second, I should put on some Sungas, and and tag Jeff's company and just help support it, and not everybody has that mindset or consideration, and so that's, again, one of my favorite things about you is you've always been that way towards me and towards Massive.
Thank you, man. And yeah, it was basically how we marketed everything in the beginning was just with Instagram, because we didn't really,
that's how I still do.
We're bootstrapping. I didn't really have a budget for marketing and stuff. Instagram's free. I would just get my stuff, wear it, post it, and then give it to my friends, and they would take some cool pictures and everything. And then it's one of these things. Kyle told me this cool quote: when you're on the right path, doors will open where there was previously walls. And that's what continues to happen, whether it's kind of manifesting things, or it's almost crazy now. I'll see something on TV, and the next day I'll be like, oh man, it'd be cool to train with that person. And all of a sudden I'm training with them. Yeah. And keeps happening over and over, and really made me realize there definitely is a higher power, and there's no way that would continue to happen over and over and over. But just being able to in the mornings, I love taking the greens, and helps keep me ripped and everything too. So I'm like, oh, I got to post this. And
the greens definitely
helps everyone look good, and it helps me look good in a Sunga, and then helps my followers realize, hey, this is how you look even better and be more confident and be healthier. It has all these physiological effects of fasting. You don't just fast because it makes you look good in a Sunga. You fast because it literally keeps you from getting dementia, getting heart disease, literally makes you smarter. It creates new neurons and neurogenesis. It's unreal what fasting will do for you. And then I love what you have say as well, where it's as important for your mental toughness as it is for your health.
Mm-hmm.
And then taking that conscious effort and making those hard choices and discipline is absolutely priceless. And I mean, it's even what's probably one of the best ways to see who's going to be successful. Can they do delayed gratification? Fasting is all about delayed gratification.
Yeah,
can you say no to that candy bar? Can you say no to that ice cream? Can you say no to the burrito and just take these greens for the next several days, or the way you do it all the way 10 days? If you can do that, then you're going to look ripped, and you're going to be healthier, and you're going to live a higher quality life. And it's can you do that? And if you can, and it makes you more successful in everything else in life, because then you can be more successful in business. Even my first 4.5 years having Sunga life, I never paid myself. I just would take all the money and put it back into the business, buy more product, and it allowed me to scale really massively the last 2 years, once it really started hitting the groove and everything. And it was the goal was, by the time I finished business school, that I would be able to really pay myself and everything. And now we're at that point. So but it's all about delayed gratification for for everything. It's one of the keys. I mean, even buds, you're laying in that cold water, you're running, 50 miles in Hell Week with a boat on your head. It's like, no, this sucks right now. I don't want to be doing this right now. But you're like, it's what you need to do to be a SEAL and make all your dreams come true. So
20 months from now, when you're getting a trident, pinned on you, that's where all your hard work kind of like, damn, it's finally here.
And all like millions of dollars of training like put into you, like epic things, skydiving with all this gear, like scuba diving, going to Alaska, going to some really cool places. And I think, you talk about all the things that is what helped us be successful in business with being a veteran or being in the military, being a SEAL, then being an entrepreneur. And that's why like a lot of people become successful as veteranpreneurs, because it teaches you problem solving and persistence. Like, I was literally in 3 buds classes back to back to back, and then made it through. I did Hell Week, 1.5 times, and but it makes business be like, oh, this is whatever, something went wrong, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so, I'm gonna figure it out.
So I think that's one of the coolest things, or coolest like things that people don't realize. Not all buds experiences are the same or equal by any means.
Yeah.
And your buds experience was a pretty rough one. And so if you don't mind sharing like your Hell Week kind of story, or Hell Weeks stories, and at one point you were almost dropped. No,
I was straight up performance dropped.
Oh, yeah. You did get dropped.
I did. I was like only person at that point ever like put back in. It was because
so start from the beginning.
Yeah, everything was going great. I was in Buds class 270, and I trained my ass off before I went to Buds. I was a really strong runner. I was pretty strong physically. I had to train a lot in the water. I trained probably 6 months before I went there with collegiate swimmers and learned how to do drown proofing. I would spend all my weekends at Buds doing a lot of the skills that had some friends who were in other parts, second phase, third phase, that would like teach me all the skill sets you need to do. And so I was really prepared. And first phase went really well. I never failed a single thing. And then I went to Friday before Hell Week, and you're all living in close quarters, you're getting surf tortured, your immune system can be down a bit, and all of a sudden I got viral gastroenteritis, and I was just like so nauseous. I walk outside, I just start throwing up, and I'm so thirsty, and I'd like drink water. It was the only time in my life that has ever happened where I'm so thirsty, I drink water and I throw up. I drink water, I throw up, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I got Hell Week on Sunday and it's Friday, and I go into medical, and they try to put IVs in me. They miss like my vein a few times. I'm like, what the heck? It's like I'm so dehydrated. And then finally they get the vein. They give me the IV, and then like Saturday night I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm able to eat a little bit and everything. And then I'm like, all right, I'm starting. I'm not starting over. I'm going into this. And I was just like super dehydrated and probably had lost like 12 pounds or something. First day goes great, but it was a brutal Hell Week. I think it was Steel Pier. One of the toughest guys in my class like quits on Steel Pier. He kind of looked like Ivan Drago. He was like 6'4", probably 220 pounds, and the second fastest guy in the class too. And he quits, and like 22 people follow him. And then it was like mass exodus. Go do a lot of other stuff. Then we do the buoy swim out, and I think it's like 25 people quit on that thing. And
the buoy swim sucked.
Yeah. And then we're just running with boats everywhere we go. And I think from being dehydrated, I started cramping in my thighs. And it's one of those things where people cramp like that in a football game and they get carried off the field. And I just like did everything I could to stay under the boat. I remember because even to go eat, you run 6 miles a day just to go eat with the boat on your head we're running back hard, and my legs are just cramping so bad. I just bite down as hard as I can and stay under it. And I get there and I finish, but I almost had nothing left at that point in my legs. And then we start the like back-to-back 4-mile runs. And I did like horrible on these runs. Almost everyone like quits behind me. And then we're doing like more of the boats. And I think this is like Tuesday where we do base tour. You just run around the base all night long with the boats on your heads, doing sprints and everything else. And everything is just shattered in my legs. By Tuesday, I'm just falling out all day from under the boat, and they're like giving me chits, giving me warnings, and then it's like they end up performing, and it's like really rare to get performance drop. Maybe like 1 or 2 people it'll happen to in a class, because people once they get the pressure of like not performing, they pretty much quit on their own. And so an hour from Wednesday, I'm the last person to not make it through like that class, and 36 made it through that whole week class, and they performance dropped me, and I'm like, I go to medical and I'm like, something's wrong with me. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I'm like, I think I have SIPE or something, or like stress fractures. I don't know. And they put the blood ox thing on me, and it like wasn't showing that I had like swimmer-induced pulmonary edema, which I thought I had to have something, because just nothing was working. And then they're like, nope, you don't have that. And I end up calling all the SEALs I knew that I'd kind of trained with. I go see Master Chief Guild, who was like our mentor at the time, and he had always said, you ever have an issue, you ever anything, come and talk to me. And I kind of took all his information. I'm like, because you hear these stories where people get screwed, they get forced to quit, they get all these things. I'm like, if anything like that ever happens, I'm going straight to him. And I go to him, I tell him, I'm like, hey, I never failed anything. All these people like failed a run, failed a swim, or no, didn't even pass a single run or swim or whatever. I never failed one. I just got sick Friday before Hell Week, and it led to me like not being able to perform very well. I'll start all the way over. I have no problem. He's like, damn. He's like, yeah, we got all these people that, come through a program, but they quit. You're never going to quit. We just need you to be healthy. So he was kind of on my side. And then I go in to, they have everyone that didn't make it through Tuesday. It was only like 5 people, because mostly everyone kind of quits in the beginning of Hell Week. Mm-hmm. And I refused to put on like the XDiv uniform. It's like what you wear in boot camp, but I'm like, that's the quitter uniform. I will never put that on. And I just wore my dress blues, and I'm like, hey, I'm 23. I have a college degree. I never failed anything. All I want is a second chance to start over again. I just got sick Friday before Hell Week, and I'm start from the beginning. I don't care. I'll do anything, and you don't even have to pay me. You can take away my bonus, whatever. Like, all I want to do is, and it was the senior chief at the time. He's like, damn. He's like, you're the first person to ever walk in here and want to like do this again. I'm going to talk to like some of the instructors and like see what we can do. And then I go back the next day, and he's like, oh, they don't think you deserve another shot. I'm like, because all they saw was me like being weak. You got so many people at that point. They didn't really know. They just saw me being kind of weak on Tuesday and Hell Week, and that's what stuck in their mind. And I'm like, Master Chief Guild thinks I deserve another shot. I ended up having my mentor call in right after that. He had a few other like chiefs come in, and I kind of like told them my story, and they're like, damn, all right, well, we'll give you another shot. And so I go into the next class, but I went straight from Hell Week into Indoc again, because it just like starts right over. And what really happened was I got rhabdo in Hell Week from being like having VGE, being super dehydrated, just running through those cramps that I had. And then also the hypothermia. My muscles broke down so much that my blood became toxic with muscle waste. So, and it doesn't get better unless you get like rest and hydration. And sometimes
rhabdomyolysis.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Rhabdomyolysis, and just absolutely brutal. And I go into the next class. I go from never failing a single evolution to failing every single evolution. And
so
now
this is after you've begged for
and begged and told him, I'm like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm strong. I've never failed anything. And now all the instructors, some were very reluctant, did not want, because all they saw was me. They didn't see me. You don't stand out when you're one of the guys just passing everything in first phase with 200 people there. But when you're the 37th person left in Hell Week, and everyone else is like makes it through and you're falling out from under the boat, everyone knows who the hell you are.
Yeah.
And so I go from that into the next class, and now I can't even like do like pass anything. And I'm just like, holy shit, what has happened to me? What is going on? And I'm like, what's going to happen? I know I'm supposed to be a SEAL, but man, like, am I not going to make it through this? Am I just going to have to like, come back, like train a bunch of CrossFit or triathlons or something and come back? Like what was going on? I thought I was in good shape. Now I can't even like do anything. I'm so weak. Like something's wrong. What is wrong with me? And I'm like talking to doctors. I'm talking to whatever, and do the first week. It doesn't go well. Do Indoc. It goes like okay, but then it ramps up in first phase, and then I start like really performing pretty bad. I get the weekend, and I'm like, okay, now I got to rest. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna crush this run. First 4 mile run on Monday, I come in last place by 6 minutes. And and the class that I had gone through Hell Week with initially, they're in second phase now, and they start like 8 minutes behind us. It's like first phase starts to run, second phase starts after us. They all pass me. I'm in the back by so far. I got first phase on my right. Second phase instructors are in a truck on my left. First phase is telling second phase, don't worry, you're never going to meet this pussy. He's going to be out on the ship out there. And while I'm running, it feels like my thighs are being stabbed. It feels like I have concrete blocks on for shoes, and it feels like I got like knives in my shins or something. I thought my legs were like broken. I thought I had like stress fractures in my legs. I think I'd already gone to the first week. I think I went to medical, and they did a whole thing where they scanned my legs for like stress fractures, and I didn't have it. It was like a few times I'd gone and been like, something is wrong with me. And they do whatever. First time it was like the blood ox seemed fine.
Like, you're just a pussy.
Yeah, they're like, you're just
God
a pussy.
damn it.
They're like, and I can't believe we gave you a second chance. And you better stop making damn excuses, pussy. And I'm like, damn, my life sucks right now. Having my dreams. All I'd wanted to do was be a Navy SEAL since I was 16, so I could go like kill terrorists and, challenge myself. And I'm just, everything is being ripped away. And now it's like being ripped away again, but even like uglier now. Cause now, at least the first time it was like somewhat respectable. I was like an hour from Wednesday.
I've never failed anything,
Yeah.
like I just got sick before Hell Week, and this is just a fluke thing.
But
please
now,
let me prove myself.
Now all these legendary SEALs.
We'll let you prove yourself, and then it just turd sandwich.
Yes, and all these legendary SEALs are just calling me a pussy. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm not a pussy.
I'm like, I swear I am not a pussy, but something is happening, and they're like, quit saying that. I'm like, fuck. And so now it's so I'm
but
like,
you didn't know that you had rhabdo.
No, nobody knew
at this point. But I'm saying, like, you told us, the listeners, but at this point in your life during this, you didn't know that you had rhabdo yet.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, something's wrong. But I knew, because I used to just be able to run so easy and not feel anything and be like one of the fastest guys. And all of a sudden the chow runs where you like run like a snail would hurt and be painful and like slow.
Bud shuffles.
The Bud shuffle was like an evolution for me. The Bud shuffle was like base tour.
The Bud shuffles though, they're slow pace, but they can suck too, because you're going so slow, and it's just chop, pop, 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 pop on the concrete, and they can help lead to stress fractures.
Absolutely, because it's on the blacktop and everything
it's
too.
on the concrete, and you're running in those Bates Lights boots, which were awful in the beginning of Buds, but I really preferred them. By the end of Buds, I loved them. We run so much in those Bates Lights that those were like my preferred running shoe for a while.
Oh, totally. And I had some friends that were in like class, like been around a bit, and they kind of showed me this technique where we cut out the back of it, and it made it like way softer on your heel and everything, and I did that.
Must be nice.
Yeah. But so now I come in last place by 6 minutes. I have all this like, this thing happened between first phase and second phase, literally talking like in front of me about how I'm never gonna make it to second phase and everything, and I'm just like, all right, I'm going to medical. And then they like beat me on the beach for a while by myself for like being the slowest person in class. And then I go up to the instructor, and I'm like, oh, he probably thinks I'm going to quit, but I will literally never quit just to never make them happy, just for that alone.
Out of spite.
Out of spite, I would never. I'm like, I may not make it as a SEAL, whatever's happening, but I will never quit just to spite you at this point. Also, I never could look to my family or friends or anyone again. Like I just never could have happened. It would literally feel like pulling a trigger to my and shooting myself in the brain. To like lay your helmet down and ring the bell, like it would be like pulling a trigger to me. I don't know. It never could have happened. But I'm like, hey, I need to go medical. Something's wrong. Something's like so wrong with my legs. Like I don't know what's going on. And I go in there and I tell the doctor, I'm like, first off, I'm not looking for a way out. This is all I want in my life. All I want to do is be a SEAL. I'm not trying to get medically dropped or anything. This is like, just so we're crystal clear. I go, but something is wrong with me. If you look at my stuff, I never failed anything in the class before. Now I'm literally failing everything. I just came in last place by 6 minutes. I fell out from under the boat on Friday. Like I have no idea what it is. They like tested my legs for stress fractures. I don't have them. It feels like I have them. I don't know what's going on. And he's like, sounds like you got this thing, rhabdomyolysis. And it's like really rare and kind of hard to get. It typically only happens to people that get like crushed in car accidents and like their muscles get like crushed and just break down so much, or like some people that do like an extremely intense workout and they weren't like prepared for it, but that shouldn't really be you. But potentially that could have happened in Hell Week or something, because you haven't been the same since from what you're saying. And so he sent me to where you get your labs done, and they drew my blood, and then I come back, and there had just been like a boats evolution, and the instructors were like waiting to crucify me during the boats, and then I'm not there, and they basically think I tried to hide from it and just like make something up. So they're so furious. They take my helmet and they smash it, and I'm just like, oh, my life sucks. I don't think it's even gonna come. I'd already had the blood ox not come back and the stress fractures. I don't think that it's gonna come back that I have rhabdo or anything. I'm just like waiting for the guillotine to happen to your head or something. It's like, all right, my life is miserable. And then, we do some drown proofing. Then at that point we're at the pool. So it's at least like somewhat chill, somewhat chill. And then we go back and we got Dave Hansen is my proctor here. And he had, gotten to know me like very well from kind of, being in Hell Week and then getting back in, and then everything, basically failing everything over and over. And he's like, Jeff Gum, he's like, the doctor had just come in and like hands him a paper. He's like, man, he's like, you got something, rhabdomyolysis. And I'm like, have it? I'm like, what? Thank God. I'm not a pussy.
We got your results, and turns out your pussy test was negative and your rhabdomyolysis was positive.
Yes. So I'm like, no way. And I go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, you cannot do anything. You can't push a broom. You can't do like, I'm sending you home. You're going to just like sit at home for 2 weeks and like rest and hydrate and eat food. And just like your kidneys will filter this out. Like your levels of like muscle waste and creatinine in your blood is just like so sky high. And if you literally went from Hell Week to everything breaking down so much, you must have gotten rhabdo from being like sick and dehydrated, then like hypothermia and like extreme exertion, and just was never able to filter it out because you just kept breaking down so much this whole time. And so I go home, rest, and my mom's like, scared, like, wow, you got like so sick. Like, she was almost scared of me being a SEAL as it was already. But like still very supportive of my dreams. But yeah, I went home, rested. I was almost like pretty puffy at the same time too. Like I remember my friends seeing me, they're like, wow, you look really puffy. And I like come back and my legs were still like really hurting. They had me on light duty for a little bit. And then they're like, next class was starting in doc. I get a few weeks because now it was just like week 2 that this happened of Indoc, not like, halfway through Hell Week or more than halfway through Hell Week. So you get like several extra weeks recovered, and luckily my baseline of like fitness was pretty high. It was just that even though I wasn't like, able to work out that hard during this time, I was still in pretty good shape. I just was so broken down. I wasn't able to perform at all. And then all of a sudden everything just like clicked and it was all out of me. And I started to feel great. And they didn't make me do indoc all over again. They had me go into the next class with the brown shirt rollbacks. And I did that with Ty Woods, who's, as other people might not know, but he's like the hero of Benghazi that the movie 13 Hours is based off of. And I just trained with him for like maybe 2.5 weeks, doing awesome workouts. And now I could just fly on these runs. And indoc can be a lot of like administrative stuff and, having you do all these things there can be 300 people in the class. You're going through the motion. And this was just like intense workouts all day, just crushing it, getting after it, do like back-to-back O courses and like a 5-mile run, then 2-mile swim, and do all this like training at the pool and like CrossFit workouts. And I was just like strong as hell. We start first phase and now I'm used to like doing everything with my body not even working. And all of a sudden I'm one of the strongest guys in the class. We do the first run of first phase. I had just run a 40:08 4-mile. I come back and I do like almost a 28 flat and I come in the top 10. I remember coming across the finish line and I stare at all the instructors like, look who's back. And just flying. Probably the biggest improvement from one run to another, like ever in Buds. Like over a 40-minute 4-mile to like a 28. I don't know if that's ever been done, So
well, at that point, they knew that you actually had rhabdo, and you had taken the time off and came back and all that stuff. So it was like, feels like just justification almost, like.
But some some thought I just had Googled it and like Googled up some disease and tried to get them to like say it, or that's what they told me. They're like, oh, you were just like Googling stuff. And I'm like, I did not Google anything. I just literally told him what my symptoms were. And then they took my blood and and it confirmed it. I never Googled anything.
Did you know what rhabdo was?
I'd never heard of it at that point at all. I didn't know it was a thing. Once I got it, then I was the first person ever diagnosed with it.
Blake Marston got it too.
Yeah, the class right after me.
Yep.
Totally. It started happening to people. They started like realizing to look for it after me. But it was one of them things. It was almost never diagnosed because everyone would quit when they get it because you would get so weak that you'd fall. Whenever people fall, it's a lot of times. They say, oh, people quit, but they quit because they can't do it physically. Like they can't stay under the boat. They're like suffering under the log or not holding their own under the log, and you get the pressure from their boat crew. And that's what makes a lot of people go away. And I'd say the quitting from the cold is like the true quit, when people are like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. But a lot of times people can't stay under the boat and they just get pressured.
Oh, there's a ton of peer pressure in Buds to quit. And, it's a super, super cutthroat environment. And the instructors encourage it.
Big time.
They encourage you to rid the weak, of the weak and turn on each other, like they don't give a fuck. And I mean, that's just how it is. And, and that's kind of how it should be, it's that's what it's for. It's a weeding out process.
I'll say the cool thing.
Now I grabbed dudes out of my boat crew and there was some punches thrown in my boat crew during log PT, during boats and stuff like that. And even with officers,
I'll say like, no one ever, even when I like struggled in things, no one ever was like, get out of here or whatever. Like it never happened. I think people knew like something was going on. And even my class that I had been performance dropped from, when they like ran past me on that 40:08 4-mile I was on, they were like, come on, Jeff, you got it. Come on, Jeff. Like I was always, people kind of knew something was up or something. Some were like, they told me later, they're like, I thought maybe you were like kind of quitting or over it or something, but I was like, no, I just literally, my legs didn't work. Like, sometimes you try to make that connection where you can make your legs just fly, but they just won't do anything. That's literally, I'm like, come on, work. And it just, but
every run for me and Buds was like a prayer. You know, it was just like, I'm like talking to Jesus the whole run, especially on the way back. You know, it's like the first 2 miles, like the first mile, I'm like, all right, I'm feeling pretty good. And, you know, and I was just never, dude, I had never run further than a mile before I like signed the dotted line to go, you know, to sign up for Buds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I didn't even know what Buds was when I signed to be a SEAL. I had no idea that I had to go to Buds. I didn't know anything about that. Like, I just said, like, yeah, I'll do the SEAL thing or whatever. And I had actually signed up for the Navy, you know, and they make you pick a job before that. So I picked Master at Arms, and then they had the SEAL motivator, the dive motivator, come and do the PST, and then if you pass that, then you got a contract to go to Buds. But I had, you know. And they told me that, like, you're going to have to do a physical PST or whatever to get the Buds contract. I was like, okay, whatever. But I had signed up, and I didn't even know that I had to go to Buds. But
I had guys in my boot camp where they didn't know what Hell Week was. They didn't know anything. And they tell me, they're like, what is this Hell Week thing we're going to have to do? I'm like, don't worry. You're never gonna experience it. I'm like, trust me, don't even worry. They'd be like, okay, thank you. I'm like, they had no idea.
Yeah, there was only 2 of us in my boot camp actually made it all the way through, and
there was 3 out of 82 people that were signed up.
Yeah, only 2 of us made it, and
5 made it through Hell Week.
Yeah. I think
1 on the tread.
Ours 3 made it through Hell Week, and only 2 of us ended up graduating, which is rare because after you make it through Hell Week, your chances of making it to graduation go up drastically. And then the next chopping block is pool comp.
Yeah.
And then after you make it through pool comp, you've got like a 94% chance that you're going to get your trident.
Yeah.
But they're still at 6%. And I mean, shit, dude.
CQC.
I remember guys getting pulled days before graduation. Like, there was an officer in my class that got dropped 6 days before graduation. Because
like a peer eval?
It was like they just didn't, like, they said something about his, like, they didn't have confidence in his leadership, like, you know, abilities or whatever. And it was 6 days before graduation. I was just thinking, fuck, dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
So bad. And there was, you know, guys in third phase that got dropped for weird shit, like, you know, fucking something on the obstacle course, or, you know what I mean? Like, just, there's so many different ways that you can fail in Buds. And
yeah, I remember a guy got, I think the class ahead of me, he didn't pass one of the swims in third phase. And
Booth.
Then, Booth? Yeah.
Yeah. That's who I remember. He, and
I think there was something with a pistol. I think there was a guy with a pistol qual too. I remember one, like, maybe it was 7-0 or maybe when I was in 7-0, I think it might have been someone from like 6-7, but somebody quit, and there was like literally a whole stream of green helmets and then like one red helmet. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
Like,
well, dude,
what?
the time that, or, you know, I never really wanted to quit in first phase, or, you know, first phase sucked, obviously. Second phase sucked, but third phase was by far the most annoying, and like,
on the island for 5 weeks straight, never a single day off.
Dude, like, and I don't think we were in the same class at that point, but I was with 273, and our third phase was worse than our first phase. And, you know,
we had a brutal third phase too.
Dude, we did getting wet.
Camp Stupid.
We did getting wet every hour on the hour for all through Rifle Week. So, like, no matter what we were doing, we had to go, you know, every hour on the hour, run down to the beach, jump in, hit the surf, get wet and sandy, run to the grinder, do 58 counts.
And that was probably like January or February for you, right? Because I did mine in like December. So yours would have been probably January or February.
It was so shitty, dude. It was like, I remember it just being like, at that point too, you're so fucking over it.
Yes.
And like, that just made it worse. And dude, we were, you know, and it was like, we were sleeping in the showers because it was like,
So,
2 in the morning, it didn't matter. Like at 3 in the morning, we have to go down, hit the surf, get wet and sandy, come back to the grinder, do 58 counts. And then that whole process took like fucking 20 minutes, even leaving from the grinder, and then like by that time it's like we have 40 minutes, we're soaking wet and we just did 58 counts, we're so wet and sandy. By the time you rinse off and shit and dry off in 25 minutes, you've got to go do it again.
Yeah.
So it was like we just literally were just like, fuck it. We just slept in the showers and had the hot water running because it was freezing cold. And that was for a whole week.
Yeah.
We did that. And it was like, you're out in San Clemente Island, we'd be on the range, like 2 miles or something from the beach. And it's like, time to go hit the surf and do our thing. So we'd have to run from there 2 miles.
I remember
hit the
surf, we just want to train. We just want to shoot these guns.
I know, right?
I remember we had a rifle week and it was Thanksgiving, and we're like, I remember one of my friends, he was a recon Marine before he went to the SEAL, before Buds and everything. And he goes, I had a better Thanksgiving in 2004 and I get hit by an IED in Iraq that day. Like, they made us just like that. We had like, kind of good chefs on the island, and they made us this nice Thanksgiving dinner, and they're just like,
we did not.
Yeah. Well, but we didn't get to hardly eat it. We were just like soaked the whole time, and we couldn't even go inside like the chow hall.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a brutal day.
I remember we had to eat our food in the surf zone. And it was like so annoying. And like, you had to do the chow PDs, all that shit. All that stuff still applied. Your normal schedule applied. You just also had to hit the surf every hour on the hour and do the 58 counts. So like, I remember, and this was all during rifle week when you're supposed to just be slinging lead, you know what I mean? And I remember like, we all thought like, we're like, dude, we're about to go third phase. We're going to go to San Clemente Island. And when we come back, we're just going to be fucking badass lead slinging Navy SEALs, just like the movies, just like pop, 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 and it's like we barely even fucking shot, we just got our asses fucking handed to us the whole fucking time. It was miserable. And and when you're out there, there's no internet, there's no phone, no internet, no mail, no communication with the outside world. You're just
5 weeks straight.
5 weeks of fucking.
But like every week, it's kind of a new thing. At least you're like, first it's pistol, then it's rifle, then it's demo.
Ours was a lot of ass
tactics.
whooping.
Yeah,
and
then what was it after?
Dude, I got in trouble.
Then it was FTXs.
I got in trouble for something. I can't remember what it was. I got in trouble for something, and maybe it was I had Chief Nguyen. Remember him?
Double tap
fat. Yeah. Yep. And he used to call me Christina Aguilera.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
And he was like, I think I had a dead man's gun or something happened. And he was like, oh, you have dead man's gun? He goes, oh, Christina Aguilera, you have dead man's gun? He goes, that's flight till you die.
I got Flights Infinity myself. Ended up being like 4 or something.
I don't remember. It was a lot. So you had to take this metal pallet and put it on your back and shoulders and
carry it up to
Frog Hill.
Yep.
And it's this really steep hill, and there's this big metal frog statue on the top of it, and it's a very big steep hill, and you have to run with this thing on your back. And and depending on when you fuck up, they issue you that's 2 flights.
Yep.
So you gotta put this thing on your back and run up the hill and touch the frog and come back, and that's 1. And if you get 2, then you got to do 2 or whatever they issue you. And there's different kind of punishments for all kinds of shit. But I got a dead man's gun, and which is like when you have rounds in your gun, but you didn't cock it, and so you think that you're locked and loaded, and you go to pull the trigger and nothing happens, and they call that a dead man's gun.
Yep.
And that had happened to me, and he was like, "Oh, Christina Aguilera, you have dead man's gun. That's flight till you die." And I was like, "Fuck!" So I just had to do flights until I died. But luckily, I survived. And when another time, I forget what I did, something, and he made me do 800 8 counts on the deck of the hell box.
Wow.
And I remember I had to get wet and sandy and do 800 8 counts. And I remember he was watching TV and I was on the back deck and it was wood. And I was thinking like, okay, I'm going to do these 8 counts and I'm going to like slam my feet onto the deck. So hopefully he gets annoyed. He gets annoyed and tells me to stop and go away. And because I'm like thinking like 800 8 counts, I'm going to be here a while. Yeah. You know? And he did not give a fuck. And I was like doing these 8 counts, you know, and he's like wanting to hear me count, you know? And so I'm doing them, blah, blah, blah. And I'm slamming my feet down on the deck every time. And he didn't fucking give a shit. And I got all the way done and he comes out and dismissed me or whatever. And there was like, the deck was like a certain color. And then where I was slamming my feet because I was wet and sandy, it was like sandpaper. The deck was like a totally different color from my feet.
How long do you think that took you?
It was a while. I don't remember. But I was kind of fascinated at one point. Like it was just like, you know, I was kind of like out of spite too. Like I'm fucking like trying to get this guy to annoy him to tell me to stop or move or something like that.
He's probably used to it. He's like, oh, they all think.
And then I got like fascinated. I'm like, this dude seriously doesn't give a fuck. I would be so annoyed if I was hearing this, you know? And he just sat there and just watched the TV or whatever.
I had 3 Singaporean commandos in my class. Mm-hmm. And so they had a little bit of the Asian accent. Mm-hmm. But Chief Win had like a super strong Vietnamese accent. And he'd always say like, work hard, pray hard, like meaning play hard. He's like, he works hard, but he plays hard, but it would come out as pray hard. Mm-hmm. And then those guys would always be like writing that up on the board and stuff, like work hard, pray hard. Like
that's funny.
It was hysterical.
Yeah, but the whole point of this was the only time I really like thought about quitting like seriously was in 3rd phase, just because, not because it was too hard or anything. I was just over it, you know. I was just like, dude, I've been dealing with this bullshit for so long, and like you're thinking like by 3rd phase this is going to be, you know, it's like we should be learning some more shit and like having fun, but it was still just a fucking suck fest. We learned a little bit of stuff, you know, basic tactics, basic diving, basic demo, basic shooting and shit. But I was just like thinking that we would be so much more badass in our skill set than we were. And it was just nonstop getting your ass kicked. And I was just like kind of over it and annoyed by it. And I was like, you know, so that was the only time I really like thought about quitting more seriously than ever, was in 3rd phase.
For me, I was literally gonna finish 3rd phase and go on Christmas vacation, and think I had been a white shirt for 10 months before I even like got my brown shirt, and then had a whole nother 5 straight months of training, like no leave, no break, just like, so it had been a year and a half at least or something at this point, you know? And so I'm like, they started playing Christmas music. I had never liked Christmas music. I'd always been like, that's annoying. I'd rather hear normal music, whatever. I started hearing Christmas music. I'd be like, I'm going to be back with my family, like eating turkey, having the best Christmas ever. I'm going to be off this damn island. I'm like, I don't care what they do. Just, I will suffer. And then I'm going to be on Christmas break with my family for 2 weeks. It's going to be the best thing in the world. And, literally, it was like the best break ever. And then went down to Orlando, saw all my college boys, did New Year's Eve down there, just got after it with them. And then back to San Diego. And there, SQT was just like awesome. Finished graduated buds, and then we started then it was airborne, or like I guess it was static line, but I had already done static line from when I was an Army ROTC cadet. So I just got to go up to Paris and do the wind tunnel with guys that had failed free fall. I just did a bunch of like tunnel work with them, so it just gave me an advantage, and then started free fall after that, and that was just like an absolute blast.
Dude, when again, third phase, just sucking the whole time. I forget what happened, but the day we left the island, something happened and the instructors were fucking pissed off at us, and we left the island and we went back to Bud's, the compound or whatever, and, to get ready for graduation. And when we got to the grinder, all of our bags, like our sea bags with all of our shit, was dumped out of our entire class, was dumped in the middle of the grinder, all mixed together and thrown in like so it was just random bullshit everywhere, and it was all soaking wet and full of sand. Like all of it was just a big heaping pile of shit. And I remember, and it was like dark out and everything, and we're just like kind of going through this, like who's this what stuff. And I remember the white shirts, that had like just got there, and they were like, "What phase are you guys in?" And we're like, we graduate in like 2 days. Have fun, motherfuckers. Oh my God, dude. What? Yeah, I just remember thinking like, there's got to be some dudes like, fuck this. It never ends.
Damn. Yeah. Seriously. You check into your team and...
Oh, dude. Definitely. Especially, yeah, I mean, I'm sure on the West Coast, you guys got fucked with as new guys too. But it was definitely some hardcore, it's a little more, I would say it's a little more traditional on the East Coast than the West Coast. A little more old school on the East Coast than the West Coast, just from what I've heard from, friends on the West Coast.
Can vary a lot from platoon to platoon as well.
Mine was hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore old school fucking, definitely a serious experience, but that could be a whole nother podcast that I'm probably never going to talk about.
Yep.
So
yeah,
just
exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, so you get, we went off into some serious tangents on totally. Bud stories and all that stuff. But yeah, I just wanted people to hear about your experience, with Buds and your Rhabdo experience, because that is 100%, mindset is everything, and pushing yourself like through adversity, you know what I mean? And not giving up. And
what I thought was something, I talked about how, my life sucks and this is miserable and all these things. That's what I thought at the time, but it ended up being the greatest gift ever, because now every time with business, every time something goes wrong, I'm like, this is nothing.
Yeah.
Like this is not like I was just performance dropped in Hell Week and I have and there's never been someone allowed back in before. This isn't me last place by 6 minutes on a run after already being barely allowed back in with all the instructors gunning for me. Just figure it out. There's whatever the problem is, there's always a solution. And especially, I've been blessed with all the people that have come into my life. A lot of times I don't have the answer, and I know that, but I know someone who does, who they're just one phone call away, or they will reach out to someone who can help me if they don't have the answer. And it just was a whole new way to reframe everything. And it's literally the greatest gift for the rest of my life. Every time something challenging has happened, whether it's been something with a relationship or family or business or even my body, as I had 3 surgeries my last 4 years in the SEAL teams. I had a spine surgery, ankle surgery, a shoulder surgery, I'm lucky for having that happen. It also taught me when something tough happens, hey, be thankful for it, and you're going to be better for it, and you're going to learn.
Mm-hmm. And, create or having your own business and building it from the ground up, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done and endured, and it's just constant fucking problem solving. It's one thing after another. You might have little stints here and there where things are going smooth, but enjoy them while they last, because shit just goes fucking wrong all the time. Yep, Murphy's Law. And so, I mean, that having, like you said, having those experiences to, kind of remember, I made it through these, it's not that, at least, or whatever. It could always be worse. And having that, practice at going through adversity, you know what I mean? And if it hadn't been for my experience, dealing with and conquering some serious adversity with buds, with, the SEAL teams, Afghanistan, and, different other things I've done, like the grease walk, all this shit. Like, without those, I would have quit Massive for sure. Because, dude, I've 2019, right when the greens took off, it was by far the most stressful year of my life. And, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And if I wrote down all the bullshit that happened and that I experienced, and, you would think I was making it up.
Yeah.
The amount of bullshit that I had to overcome. And like I said, if I hadn't been through all that previous stuff and, and gotten practice at enduring difficult things and just keep pushing forward, there's no fucking way that Massive would have survived and been what it is today. And I'm still dealing with it. I mean, it's constant stuff, it's just a new challenge every time, but every time you go through a hard experience like that, you get that, confidence from getting through to the other side and it compounds, and you use it and you recall, when you need it, like, you can do this. You've been through worse. Let's go. Just don't give up. Just keep going. And that continued effort is absolutely mandatory. It's a necessity to be successful in anything that you're doing. And, so again, I'm super thankful, for all the adversity that I've endured over the years. And yeah, like you said, it's very much like that delayed gratification. And I tell people, especially with starting your own business or your brand or whatever, I say it's like farming, or like planting something, a fruit tree or something. You have to plant it and do all of this work and take care of this thing with no return, And
it's a risk. You don't know if a famine's going to come. You don't know if it's going to be crazy fire, a freaking hurricane.
You mandatory have to put in work, and you have to do all this stuff for the chance that it will bear fruit, and you're putting in all this work with no reward, no return for a long time, and then eventually it kind of switches, at some point, like, it'll start to bear fruit, and then it's like you don't really have to do a whole lot, but it will continue to bear fruit, and you can reap the benefits of it. And that's and it's hard for a lot of people, especially in today's society, and the new generations coming up. They want the instant gratification.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people want that instant gratification. And, we were talking about it today. I feel like, the work ethic of a lot of people today is fucking awful, garbage. And, they don't want to work for less than $20 an hour for doing some bullshit fucking job. You know what I mean? Like, and, when we were growing up, we worked our asses off.
Yeah.
And we're
happy
happy
4
to
years
get
old
fucking
doing chores on a farm,
Yeah.
like mowing the grass and walking like 4 golden retrievers at a time. And because I was the oldest too. So even when I was like, when when my sister was 4, she didn't have to really walk the dogs the same way because I was walking him. I was 7 then, and she got her own chores and everything, probably more cleaning and all that. But it's and there wasn't screens. Like, I'm so glad my childhood didn't have through screens. I didn't even have video games or anything, or I had like 3 channels on the TV. Cable didn't even go down my road in Pennsylvania. And it was a blessing because I was like always outside, always playing with my dad, like 2 hours a day. I'd be outside. If it was like baseball season, he'd have other workers on the farm, like playing the outfield and catching, and he'd be pitching. And then if it was basketball, it'd be me and him playing one-on-one basketball. If it was soccer, I'd be playing him in one-on-one soccer. And so that was like the greatest thing, doing that with him. And then I had my little brother, and me and him would always play together, whatever sport it was. And it was like, beautiful childhood doing that on a farm and everything. I had a little pony named Rocky, who was like my best friend. I'd go down, and we had a pond. I'd go fishing right there. It was like nonstop adventures on the farm and everything. And then in the winter, we'd go, my parents were like champion ski racers, and we'd go out like skiing all the time. My mom still coaches racing actually at Blue Mountain.
Oh, nice. And I went to Blue Mountain all the time as a kid growing up. With once a year or so, we would go on a trip. Me and my brother and my dad would go to Blue Mountain and ski. So I started skiing when I was
That's crazy.
4 or 5.
I wonder how crazy it would be if we were on a mountain at the same time when we were like kids or something.
Could have been.
Totally could have been.
Dude, I was doing double black diamonds by the time I was 6.
Yeah.
And just fearless, just
totally
flying down.
I just tuck.
Yep.
I just tuck and go straight down.
Yeah.
My dad started the racing program at Blue Mountain.
Very
It was called Little Gap back then.
Very
and then
cool.
the name got changed to Blue Mountain.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I didn't do any of the programs or anything like that. I just went, because I said we went once or maybe twice a year if we were lucky. But yeah, and that was always fun. I'll always remember that, growing up. Blue Mountain.
Yeah.
Time.
I didn't know you went there. That's literally 30 minutes from my house in Pennsylvania. Cool. My mom still coaches the ski racing there. She coaches like all the girls, and they beat all the boys this year too. So she's still.
Dude, like I said, I went skiing once, maybe twice a year growing up. Growing up all through school and everything. And I thought I was a pretty good skier, because like I said, I'd been going down double black diamonds since I was like 6 years old.
Yep.
But double black diamonds on Blue Mountain versus
it's not like Colorado.
Double black diamonds in Colorado or Montana or something. It's just like, oh, okay, this is a different level.
Yeah.
I remember, going the first time I went to Colorado, I went to Breckenridge, and
nice.
And I'm with the guys, and I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to hit the mountains, blah, blah, blah. And I'm a really good skier, da, da, da. And we get out there, and right at the base of the chairlift, the gondola or whatever, at one of the runs when we went in, there's like this fucking 20-foot jump. And like there's like a half pipe and all this shit. Like there's like a obstacle or the trick route,
Yeah.
And there's just like people coming off of this fucking jump going like 30 feet in the air doing backflips and like twists and spins and all this shit. I mean, and it's not just like, whoa, that one guy did it. It was literally like boom, 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 boom. It was like a regular run.
Yeah.
Had tons of people, and they're all doing spins and backflips and this and that and shit. And I'm like, oh.
There's levels to this skiing thing.
I'm like, which way to the bunny trails? I'm not on that level.
Yeah.
And these are kids that grew up on a serious fucking mountain and have been skiing their whole lives. They ski for 8 months a year.
Ski racing,
you know what I mean?
Ski racing, and then also doing the freestyle. Like my buddy Sandy, his name is Sandy Treat the Fourth, and we get together and we ski in Colorado. And there was this run at Copper Mountain. It was called Triple Treat. And I would fly by it. I thought it was called Triple Threat because it's just, you're like flying by, you look at it like quickly. And we're like skiing there. He goes, oh yeah, that's named after me, my dad, and my grandpa. I'm like, what? Triple Threat? He's like, no, Triple Treat. I like look at it again. I'm like, oh damn. And he's like, yeah, he grew up ski racing in like Vail, and his dad was a like Olympic skier. His grandpa was in the 10th mountain, then was one of like the first skiers at Vail and everything. And I was like good at, I've been going to Colorado for a long time, and I do the moguls. I love the moguls. I like go pretty like, decent through them. Me and him are doing the moguls together, and he like hits a bump because he hits it like hard back and forth. His ski pops off and starts to shoot down the mountain because his brake doesn't engage. And now he's on one ski through the moguls, and he's skiing faster than me with one ski, still hitting the bumps the same way, trying to catch his ski that flew off, and it's just going straight down the mountain. Wow. And I'm like, holy crap, like he's literally going faster through these moguls and I'm going on two skis and I'm not going slow. Right. Like, what the heck? But he grew up like racing Vail and on the Vail, like free skiing, like backflip, everything. So it's like definitely levels to that. Me skiing,
there's levels
me
to
being
everything.
a good skier in Pennsylvania, but basketball was even my main sport in the winter, especially in high school. So I couldn't ski as much through high school the way I did when I was kind of younger.
That's definitely something I've learned the older I get, and the more life humbles you and shit. And it's just like, one thing's for sure, there's levels to everything. Everything.
Yeah.
And super cool.
But we keep leveling up.
We are leveling up, and it's awesome, to be on this entrepreneur fucking journey together, and kind of similar timelines, and we're reaching new heights together, and it's cool that like we constantly bounce ideas off of each other and like lessons learned, and if we run into something that we're like, oh, this could help him, or
and we're also doing it to help other people at the same time. I know what you've done with Adopt-A-Cop is just absolutely unreal. You got like over 1,000 police officers like training to be literally not only safer for them, but safer for the people that they're arresting at the same time, so that the person doesn't get to jump on them and they don't have to shoot them then. And especially people if they're out of their mind on drugs and everything. And with me doing Force Blue Team and Adaptive Training Foundation, and I would love to have you come out to them more and everything too.
Definitely.
And I'd love to, next time something goes down with Adopt-A-Cop, I'd love to come out and support and everything.
For sure.
And I know we do the swims and stuff together, but and now we're both on the East Coast, so it's only going to be easier.
And hopefully
I made that move 4 months ago.
Yeah, hopefully I will, be moving Massive. I would really like to move Massive down to Florida.
Yeah.
Because Florida is the new hub of freedom.
Damn straight, with the best governor.
Yeah, definitely. Ron DeSantis is the GOAT.
Yeah. And he's, another Navy guy, Navy JAG, veteran. Harvard Law School. And then he was at Coronado the same time as us.
Really?
He was stationed at SEAL Team 1, and he was an advisor to the admiral at that time.
Oh, cool.
And then he was literally in like Fallujah maybe a year or two before I got there as well, advising on ROEs. And then I think he went out to like SOCOM or something in Tampa. But yeah, pretty cool. We've been a little, so yeah, maybe that'll happen next with the, joining forces with the right people.
For sure. Well, we've been chatting on this for a while, so we'll shut it down. But I'm sure we'll do another episode at some point. But thanks so much for coming on. And where can people find you on social media and your website, where they can get their own Sunga attire?
Yeah, so you can get it at sungalife.com. That is SUNGALIFE. And on Instagram, that is at sunga.life, SUNGA.LIFE. And then my personal Instagram is at Jeff Gum, JEFFGUM. And those are like the main ones. Probably can find it on the other things if you just search my name. But
for sure. Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for coming on, and hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And
mindset is everything.
Be kind, or else.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, bro. Great times.
Thanks for having me. Coming on. Thanks for tuning in to the Violent Hippie Podcast. Remember, be kind or else.